welcome back to Gapey's Greenhouse. Today is going to be a little bit shorter video than I usually do. I just wanted to do a quick look at some of the peppers that have set pods so far in the greenhouse. And today is June 18th, and the first one to set a pod is this one here. That is the Ahi Fantasy, and it's got the biggest pod so far. You can see it right here. And I think that's the only, oh, there's another tiny pod set up here. But I don't think it's going to get much bigger than that, so I think it should start changing color here pretty soon. And then next we have the one in front of it is the Lemon Drop, or Ahi Lemon it's also called. We've got a few pods coming up on that one. There's one right there on the top, and then another one right behind it right there. And then next up we have the Ahi Tangerine. So we've got some little pod just starting to come out right there, and I think that might be the only one so far. This is the Susan Garza cross. So this one is this is one of the tallest peppers in the greenhouse, so I'm thinking about getting a cage for that or some stakes or something so it doesn't fall over. And then next up we have the Sugar Rush Striped. So it just started setting a pod. Let's see, it's kind of hidden. Oh, there's a couple pods, looks like. So there's one right here, and there's another one right there. So we've got two pods. Oh, there's another one, another little one back here. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty productive plant here. And oh, that is actually the Sugar Rush Striped. I don't think I mentioned that. And that's it for the ones on this side of the greenhouse. So on the other side is where I have all my hotter peppers. So let's start over here. These are some Kang Star crosses, and this one here is the Linzo pepper. So it's very short and bushy, but it's only got one pod so far. If you could see that hiding right there, I think that's the only one so far. But it's not looking like a typical Linzo. It looks more like a shishito pepper to me. So we'll have to wait and see how that looks, but it's probably a little bit of an unstable cross. So who knows what might happen. And then behind that, I've got the Kang Star White Thai, and it's just starting to set out some little peppers here on the top. So we've got two little peppers so far, and lots of flowers. I think those are the only ones that are set. It looks like some more are trying to come out right there. And another cluster, a big cluster of flowers right there. And then next up we have the Korean Go Choo. So we've got one pretty good sized pod right there, and then a bunch of little baby pods. So this is another one I'm probably going to stake. It's probably the second tallest plant in the greenhouse so far, but this is one I grew last year and it did sprawl out everywhere. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a cage for that one if it does as well as it did last year. And then next we have the Lemon Starburst, which is another Kang Star cross. And I think it's only got one pod so far, but it's a pretty good sized pod. So there it is right there, and it's got a nice little tail on it. So I'm looking forward to growing that again. I grew that one for the first time last year. And then I think that might be it. There might be one more. Oh, there's one more, Red Fatale. So I just found this pod the other day, and I don't know how I missed it before because it's getting pretty big. So it's kind of hiding back here. So you can see it right there. So that's the last of the pods so far. But we've got a lot of flowers popping up on several of these. And oh, let me show you the Nebru 7. So this Nebru 7 is really growing super well. It was, when I first planted it in here, the leaves were pretty yellow and it just wasn't looking that great, but it's come a long way since I planted these in the garden just a couple, maybe 3-4 weeks ago. And this one is looking really good too, the habanero. But anyway, I'll save another update. Hopefully by the next one we might have a ripe pod or two. Before I go, I just wanted to give a quick update on the peppers in a can that we have. So these are 3 peppers I started in a can back in, I think it was February, end of February. So this is the one, the Mini Bell was the first to set a pod, and we've got a nice looking pod there. and a couple more that are just starting to come out. They're a little bit different shape. This one seems to be a little bit more rounded on the bottom, and this one looks more like a typical bell shape. But we've got lots of flowers on that guy. And then here is the Hot Pops Purple, and we have tons of pods and tons of flowers set on this guy. And I've been using a liquid fertilizer about once a week on these. And then the last one is the Apache, which I just noticed, I don't know why, but I just noticed it's starting to set a lot of pods. So we've got pods hanging out there and there. So it's pretty loaded with pods right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing how big the peppers are going to get on these guys. But I had these in the greenhouse, but I recently moved these inside because I think it was just getting a little too hot in the greenhouse for them. So I think they're going to like it being inside a little bit better. And here's another one coming out there. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.